Alright, hello everybody and welcome to a new class. So I think this class is really useful and interesting. So of course, before we get started, we're going to go over a few words of wisdom that you can take with you. So when you're fasting, be careful not to drink too much water. It can be useful for the cravings, but you don't really want to overdo that. That could be very dangerous. Of course, we want to be safe. In the winter, there's going to be less sunlight, so that means less vitamin D. It could be useful to make a lot of mushroom dishes like mushroom pasta or quinoa with mushrooms, or you can eat them raw. I've eaten raw mushrooms before. Um, or you can do dried mushrooms in a powder. I was looking a bit, and these ones looked pretty good. These vitamin D2 European mushroom supplement. They're vegan. Um, they're organic, 100% whole organic mushroom with the vitamin D2, of course. So when we get to the winter months for the northern hemisphere, right? So I'm in the northern hemisphere. It's going to be a bit different for the southern, but of course, you need to make sure that you are getting enough. So mushrooms are going to be your best bet for that one. Or if you can find like baby burro bananas, I think those are okay too for vitamin D. So when you're picking up your zodiac sign clothes for the colors, of course, think about the hemisphere and the season. So I'm in the northern hemisphere, and let's say like Scorpio season is going to be in the fall, so I'm gonna get long sleeves for Scorpio for like dark red or scarlet or rust, things like that. Capricorn season is in the middle of winter, so we're gonna get black long sleeves for my colorism. I know that was a bit random right there, but you should get the idea. Okay, when you're vegan, it could be useful to join Facebook groups that are vegan. So they post really good recipes, but when you're fasting, I would recommend like not looking at it. But yeah, they do post like a lot of ideas. They have good recipes. But yeah, be strong when you're fasting. You don't want to be looking at that too much. Um, so yeah, the main things that you want to be raw. You want to eat as raw as possible, and don't eat a lot of cooked foods, and don't eat a lot of vegan junk food. Try to go as long as possible. Try to go as long as possible. Everybody thinks moderation is going to be like, oh, you can eat junk food like once a week. Everybody thinks you can eat junk food once a week, but real moderation is eating junk food once every 2 months. Eat junk food once every 3 months or 4 months. That's real moderation. People don't understand how careful and precise that you have to be with your body in order to get the best results. So, when you're doing the whole practice with the veganism and with all the energy clearing and the energy working, when you use both of those things together, the results, if you're doing this for the first time, the results may take up to from 6 months to a year to start coming in. So, of course, you're not going to see the results right away. You still have to be consistently practicing over time to actually see something work. Another point here is that people of the divine are very trustworthy. They do have human limitations, but they will be the most solid and educated people. So, say for myself, say for like Embodiment Celestial, say for like some of our tarot readers out there, they're going to be the most trustworthy people that you can rely on for good information. I know a lot of people talk about how they don't trust people and that they've been betrayed by people, and people these days you can't trust. But the people of the divine, they are going to be the ones that you can actually trust, which is really, really nice to think about. If you have your third eye open, you will be able to sense who these people are. You can really, like, kind of just have this intuition or sixth sense of you thinking, like, okay, I can trust that person. This person is good. And remember, if you attack people of the divine, such as myself or any of the others, there will be bad karma. Remember that. I've had a lot of people who don't believe the practice, who think everything is fake, the third eye isn't real, or energy isn't real, or spirits aren't real, but they all are very real. Everything is very real, but there's going to be a lot of people out there who will laugh at that and will say, no, it's not real, it's not real. It's definitely real, but for those people, I'm warning you, they're going to think this is a joke, but there is bad karma. They will have bad karma. Karma takes time. It's not instant. It's kind of a laugh now, cry later. So this is how it works. A person who is attacking a divine individual, like, yes, they can send out attacks, meaning that if you have a dart in your hand and there's like a board on the wall, you can throw the dart, but it doesn't actually hit the target. So that's what they're thinking. They're like, oh, you can't stop me from attacking you. Or what do you mean you have protection? You can't stop me. I'm still going to do it. But they have the dart in their hand. They're going to throw it, but the dart doesn't actually hit the target, right? And it happens every single time. Just to like put it into perspective. Of course, karma is never instant. Well, sometimes it is, but it's more of a laugh now, cry later. Mess around now, find out later. So yeah, unfortunately, we do have a lot of unsuspecting people who will try to take their shot at people who are divine, people who are high vibrational. They're going to take their shot, they're going to laugh at us, and then later down the line, they're going to receive karma, and they're going to find out the hard way later. But it is just what has to happen, okay? And lastly, you need to make use of radical acceptance. You may want things, but rejection is protection from unseen negatives. So, say for example, you have a crush on someone, but they reject you and it's really upsetting, right? But then later you figure out they have this weird little personality trait that you can't stand, or they have some type of dark secret that makes them a horrible person, right? And then you're thinking back, oh, I'm glad I didn't go out with them then. I'm glad I was rejected. So that's really something to put you in perspective. That's going to put you in perspective. That's going to give you a new perspective. Yeah, I did have a crush on that guy, but I later found out that he picks his nose and I can't stand it, so I'm glad he didn't like me back, right? So you just have to accept it and understand that the universe works in a way that is meant for you. All right, moving on. How to remove addictions so you can start fasting. Now, this one is going to be very, very useful for a lot of people. I know people like to smoke and vape and drink, but when you want to unlock your full power and make sure that your energetic field is strong, because if you're smoking, if you're drinking, then all of those things will destroy your electromagnetic field, and we want this to be as strong as possible, okay? So, how do we get rid of addictions? And this is going to be very, very useful for a lot of people who are struggling with that, because this happened with me. As I told you in the previous classes, I was able to use this method to get me to stop smoking cigarettes, which is one of the hardest things that you can be doing, is getting rid of cigarettes. It's incredibly hard. I understand it completely. Nicotine nicotine will stick with you for a very, very, very long time. So, no addictions and no medications while you're fasting. When you're fasting, you want to be completely clean, right? No pills, no smoking, nothing, because if you're fasting and your body is in the repair mode, then any type of medication or smoking, anything like that, it will mess up the way that your cells are repairing itself, and we don't want this to mess up, right? So a good tip is to use the waning moon phase to release addictions. Waning moon as in full going on to empty, right? So here we have the picture again, if I can click it. So yes, the full moon going on to empty, like this is the waning moon phase. So that's going to be the phase where you start releasing things that you don't want in your life. So that would be the best time to start working on releasing an addiction. So it also is useful to do this during certain zodiac seasons. So me, for example, I was lucky enough to quit smoking during Virgo season. I was trying to do it during Leo season, and then it didn't work. So in Virgo season after that, I was actually able to release my addiction a lot easier during Virgo because Virgo represents purification. Virgos, people with the sign of Virgo in their chart, they have lots of purification abilities. Capricorn, you might want to do this waning moon during Virgo, waning moon during Capricorn, waning moon during Scorpio, Capricorn with restoration abilities, Scorpio with Egyptian magician healing. And we'll go over that later. We'll go more into depth on these abilities in the next class, actually, with the Zodiac Empowerment. I'm really excited for that class. It's going to be really, really fun. It's my favorite. So, with the reference book, the Crystal Encyclopedia, Melody's Love is in the Earth, the reference book that I showed you a class or two ago, there's crystals in that book. If you look in the index in the back of the book, you can find addiction, and you'll go ahead and go turn to the page, and it'll give you a list of anti-addiction crystals that you can meditate. So, say for example, I ordered a zeolite. It's an anti-alcohol crystal. Zeolite is purification, anti-alcohol. Any type of anti-addiction, or if you can't find them, is going to be purification crystals. So, a zeolite. A zeolite is for all signs, and it's pretty cheap. I ordered a zeolite on the internet, and I actually used it for my smoking addiction because I'm not addicted to alcohol, so I kind of assumed it would do the same thing. But if you meditate with your zeolite, it'll help cleanse yourself of any toxins. So it's really useful to find some type of crystal like that. It is also useful to have a crystal for positive transformation, such as malachite. So I also got this malachite pendant, and any transformative crystal, any transformation crystal, that's going to help you transform for positive changes, which will help you get rid of your addictions. So I was also able to find some anti-tobacco incense from him. Anti-tobacco incense. Hold on. Incense. So this is the hem anti-tobacco incense, which will be useful to be meditating and cleansing with. So with the crystals, the incense, the meditations, pretty useful. So what type of meditation do we need to be doing? So you can go onto YouTube and you can look up an anti-addiction frequency. And while you're meditating, you're supposed to use a mudra. Now, a mudra is going to be a hand formation that tells your body how to, or like what it needs. So when your hands are in a certain position, It'll tell your body what it needs, okay? So this is the anti-addiction mudra with the middle finger up, if you can see that. But this mudra plus the anti-addiction, plus the incense, plus the crystal, that will help clear out your addictions, okay? Waning moon during Virgo season the most. That will be the most powerful way to help you get rid of any addiction. Any addiction. I really hope that helps someone so we can get you onto your fasting, okay? Fasting is really, really good. Telepathy. So, after you open your third eye, you will be able to hear the thoughts of others and to be able to communicate with your mind. This works from anywhere in the world. I used to think it was ranged, it's not, because I've been able to telepathically communicate with my friends overseas. So it works everywhere and anywhere using the grid shown in the previous class. Remember, this is all possible with this grid, the ancient sacred sites that all form on Earth in a grid-like formation, which is the thing that connects every person. So that's how everything is possible. So when you first figure out that this is possible, I couldn't believe it myself, really. When I first started doing it and I started to look on the internet, like, can you hear each other? Is it possible that you guys can hear each other in your head? The answer is yes, definitely. I didn't believe it at first, but yeah, it is real. So the first few years, it could be a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. I felt once I realized you could hear people, and I was hearing other people talking, I was so freaked out. I was so freaked out. I'm like, how am I supposed to go to the bathroom? How am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to take a shower? I don't know, right? It's super weird, super uncomfortable, but over time you'll slowly understand how to do it. Um, so the spirits don't care about you using the bathroom, okay? Just so you guys don't freak out. They don't. The spirits don't care about you using the bathroom. They only care whether or not you're making good decisions. So they only care, like, are you making good decisions? Are you making bad decisions? Are you getting good karma? Are you getting bad karma? That's all they really care about. Okay, they don't care if you're in the shower. You can practice by sending memes to your friends. So yeah, that's how I practice my telepathy, is that I would start saying something funny to my friends. Like, I would start meowing at my friends. I would start referencing memes. I would just go up into the astral plane and just start sending memes to your friends, which is a really, really, really easy way to start. Um, but yeah, I was doing that for a couple of years, just thinking everything was like fine and dandy and all that. But later, deep in the practice, I realized that, there are demons to be aware of. That's why, I was having fun with the memes. I'm like, oh, I was just making memes to my friends, but somebody told you, like, hey, there's also demons up in there that we need to understand that we are, trying to fight against. Of course, we are people of the light. It's the never ending battle between good and evil. So, people of the light, yes, it is your responsibility to fight the demons. It's not as hard as you think, especially if you're using the reference books that I told you and you have your protections up. It's really not that hard, and it is quite comfortable and fun. You still get to enjoy your life, you still get to do what you like to do, but when duty calls, you gotta be there, right? I don't know why people have this idea of just being lazy when it comes to those things. Like, oh, I don't want to, or oh, you don't have to. It's like, why are you so lazy? It's fun. If you think about it, it's kind of like playing World of Warcraft or playing Skyrim, but in the spiritual realm mentally. it's like, okay, well, you go to a World of Warcraft dungeon where you go fight a bunch of little monsters and it's kind of fun or whatever, but people get really, I don't know, I don't understand people who have like the lazy mindset, you don't have to, or like things like that. It's, why are you being lazy? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. All right. With all the negativity in the world, it is best to use the moon rituals to make sure that your mind is clear every single month on time. This will regularly clear out any nasty images that are disturbing. So, okay, with the telepathy thing, I understand that there's a lot of really bad news out there. You know, a lot of like nasty news, a lot of disturbing things that you see on the media. And you know, we got to use the moon phase rituals that I showed you before, and you need to regularly clear out your energy. This is really important so you don't have all that stuff just coming in here, right? Protect your energy, cleanse your energy, right? If a demon or possessed people, negative people, a demon, they will try to send you bad thoughts. You need to ignore them. If a demon tries to talk to you, if a possessed person tries to talk to you, you ignore them, okay? Use tarot to clear your mind, and we're going to go over that in the next slide, to use tarot to help you understand and read the energies and reorganize your thoughts so you don't get messed up, okay? Think of it as if you're a soldier getting yelled at, but you need to focus on your discipline and ignore it. So yeah, you're standing at attention, you're looking forward, and some demon is trying to like talk to you. You just ignore it, you just look forward, and you go on with your business, okay? It's not as hard as you think. Don't be lazy. Um, don't argue back. I'm not going to join the military. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just using it as an example. And this is going to be a lot easier when you are doing the proper celestial veganism. It's so important. So you can be spiritual and still eat meat, but I'm going to be honest with you, you're going to have a very hard time. Negative energies, black magic, they stick to meat inside of your body. They can stick to meat very, very easily. It's sticky, right? Um, you may find that, oh, okay, so when you're working with angels, if you call on an archangel, like say, Archangel Michael, are you here? The first time I started working with archangels, in my head they're gonna say, fear not, 144 times. Fear not, and it's not gonna be your own voice. That's not gonna be your own voice. You're gonna think that you're tripping a little bit, but those are angels telling you fear not 144 times. And those angels will also be the ones to say halt. When a negative person is trying to get into your mental space, they're going to say halt. But that's not your own thought. That's not your voice. That's going to be an angel. So you can hear angels as well. Okay? And lastly, try to be respectful. Try not to call on other people spiritually too much, especially when it's late at night. So I know you like to practice by sending memes to your friends, um, but try not to call on them too much. When it's late, you guys gotta go to bed, so try to like keep it in. Try not to overextend yourself. Try to come back into being in your own mind, okay? It just takes practice. It's okay if you mess up a little bit. A lot of people are very understanding. You can practice by talking to me, right? But don't sit here and like try to manipulate people with their minds, thinking you're funny or whatever. You know, you gotta be serious, be respectful, you know, and treat it like a real practice, okay? And lastly, using tarot for insight. Tarot is the action of reading energies on situations. This is used for the purpose of dealing with difficult and negative people who do not understand universal laws and energy working. So people with without their third eye, people who have their third eye closed, they're really negative, they're possessed, they could have demons on them. So yes, these people could give you quite a hard time. But we use tarot to read the energies on a situation and to help give you better advice on how to navigate yourself and settle the situation. This purpose is to bring people into the light. This is a never ending battle between good and evil. With our readers, they will help keep your mind clear and positive when outside negative energies want to interfere with your peace. Okay? These guys are really useful, they have a lot of good information, and they completely understand people who are possessed can be quite, irritating. Can be irritating, that's for sure. I would recommend watching tarot almost every day with multiple different readers. Almost every day. If you need a break, you'll need a break, but usually they keep you entertained. I like to listen while I'm at work, and my work day just goes by like super quickly like that. Um, each are a bit different from each other, but they're all useful. So, say for example, some people do love readings, some people do like drama readings, some people do like career readings, some people do like future, like what to look for in the future, um, things like that. They're all a bit different from each other. They all cover different areas, so it's good to watch a lot of different readers. You can do readings for your sun sign, moon, rising, Venus. So I'll do Gemini sun readings, I'll do Scorpio readings for my moon, I'll do Venus readings, which is Cancer, I'll do Cancer readings, which are the strongest energies that you will be working with in your day to day life. Okay? I hope that made sense. Each reader has their own special personality, so it's best to have many different reasons. Some are good for personal trauma, others are best for seeing into the future weeks or months. Month. Some help with relationships, things of that nature. So the best channels that I like to use are Linda Likes Tarot, Chiron Intuition, Astrea 5D, Oracle Bay 444, Tarot with Empress Ava, Starseeds Tarot 444, Baba Jolie Guided Messages, Searchlight Tarot, The Autistic Mystic, Frankie's Just Tarot, and there's probably a lot more. Um, what was her name? I'm sorry. I found a new reader that I really, really like. I'll elaborate more. Solera Speaks. Solarah Speaks. Solera Speaks. And I really like her because she goes really into detail on planetary positions and their signs and um, how they all relate to each other. She's really, really, really good. You should also check her out too. Okay? If you don't resonate with some of these readers, you can always find more people. There's a lot of different styles, a lot of different people that you can be using. So if one of them doesn't relate with you, you can just easily find another. But that's it for today's class, and then next we'll have Zodiac Empowerment, and that one's going to be really, really, really fun for those of you with your third eye open. So, and those of you who do not have your third eye, go back into the other classes, go back into the previous class, and you better start working on it because we're about to have a lot of fun. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next one.